"Come with me," the ex-Navy SEAL said. After seeing the widow and her kids alone in the blizzard arrived without warning, swallowing the highway in a wall of white. Snow lashed sideways, wind howled like something alive, and the world shrank to a few trembling feet of visibility. Jack Mercer eased his truck onto the shoulder, hazard lights blinking amber through the storm. Years after leaving the Navy SEALs, his instincts still sharpened when things went wrong. And something was wrong. Through the swirling snow, he saw them. A woman stood beside a stalled sedan, her coat thin for weather like this, one arm wrapped protectively around two children. The younger one cried, face buried in her mother's side. The older boy tried to be brave, but fear leaked through his clenched jaw. Jack grabbed his jacket and stepped into the storm. "Hey," he called, voice steady. "You folks okay?" The woman turned, eyes wide, snow crusting her lashes. "The car just died," she said. "I tried calling for help, but there's no signal." She swallowed. "We're not from around here." Jack took in the scene fast, temperature dropping, wind chill brutal, night closing in. He nodded once. "Name's Jack. Come with me." She hesitated, the way anyone should when a stranger offers help in a storm. Jack read it and softened his voice. "I've got heat, blankets, and a radio. We can wait it out or get you somewhere safe." The woman looked down at her kids. The little girl's lips were turning blue. "I'm Sarah," she said. "These are Noah and Lily." She nodded, decision made. "Okay." Inside Jack's truck, warmth rushed back into their hands and faces. He wrapped Lily in a wool blanket and handed Noah a thermos of hot chocolate. The boy whispered a thank you, eyes flicking to Jack's broad shoulders, the old scars faintly visible at his collar. "Sarah noticed them too. You were military," she said quietly. Jack nodded. "A long time ago." The storm worsened. The radio crackled, roads closed, rescue stretched thin. Jack turned the truck around. "There's a ranger cabin a few miles back. Solid walls, generator, food. We'll be safer there." The drive felt longer than it was. Wind shook the truck. Snowdrifts hid the road. Jack's hands were steady on the wheel, movements precise. Sarah watched him, a strange calm settling in her chest. At the cabin, Jack coaxed the generator to life. Light bloomed. Heat followed. The kids curled near the heater, exhaustion finally winning. Sarah helped Lily change into dry socks from Jack's emergency kit, her hands shaking now that the danger had eased. "Thank you," she said, voice thick. "I didn't know what to do." Jack poured soup from a dented can, set it between them. "You did exactly right. You kept them together." As the storm battered the cabin, Sarah told him her story in pieces. Her husband, Daniel, had died the year before, a construction accident that left her world shattered. She'd taken a job 2 towns over, making the commute work somehow. Tonight, she'd left late, thinking she could outrun the weather. "I keep telling myself I can handle everything," she said. "For them." Jack listened, the way he'd learned to listen when words were a lifeline. "Strength isn't doing it alone," he said. "It's knowing when to accept help." Hours passed. The wind softened. Snow fell quieter, gentler. Noah stirred and looked at Jack. "Are you a hero?" Jack smiled faintly. "No. Just someone who showed up." Morning crept in pale and blue. The storm had broken, leaving a world remade in white. Jack shoveled a path to Sarah's car, dug out the exhaust, checked the engine. The battery was dead, but intact. "I can jump it," he said. "Follow me to town. We'll get you fixed up." At the repair shop, Jack handled the details while Sarah wrangled the kids. He paid for a new battery without making a show of it. When she protested, he shook his head. "Pay it forward." Outside, sunlight glittered on the snow. Sarah stood with her children, relief softening her face. I don't know how to thank you. Jack looked at the kids, then back at her. Stay warm. Drive slow. And remember, asking for help doesn't make you weak. She nodded, eyes shining. If you're ever passing through, we owe you a meal. Jack watched them pull away, then turned back to his truck. He felt lighter than he had in a long time. Not because he'd saved anyone, but because he'd been reminded why he'd learned to show up in the first place. As he drove into the clearing sky, Jack thought of the words he'd said in the storm, the ones that had changed everything, "Come with me." Sometimes, that was all it took.